wondering how many of you today have friends or peers that enjoy similar hobbies like golf or basketball? And how many of you have good, supportive systems for your hobby, other people that you share your experience with? There are many of us who have never had that experience. In 2005, I have a master's degree, and I had a good job, and I had friends and family that I spent time with that were supportive towards me, but I still felt as if something was missing in my experience. And one day I received an email that offered a volunteer opportunity in Cambodia, and they asked me if I'd be willing to go there. And I was thinking, why not? And I decided to do that. And in that program, there are two groups. There's an American group and a Cambodian group, and they work together to make social change. Through the beginning to the end of the project, I saw a lot of collaboration. And in witnessing that, I felt inspired. And I thought, if they can collaborate within that group, we should want more of that. After my experience with that, I came back here to the United States. Many deaf communities in the United States have limited resources, limited access to education and social. So with my experience in Cambodia, seeing those two groups collaborate, they had a peer-to-peer experience. And what they gained there was that they got to work with someone who had an experience similar to theirs, and they had a second person with which to share similar ideas, and they worked together. Peer-to-peer relationships have great power. One example of that today is that all of us here in this room are here because we share ideas. We're here to learn new ideas from each other. That's what TED is about. That's an example of peer-to-peer relationships. I have a friend who was in Cambodia for 3 months and came back, and after that, we collaborated and discussed our passion and our motivation for social change. And it occurred to me that the deaf community desperately needed that. A group of friends came together to discuss the ideas and come up with a vision. And you could see that vision develop. Together, we all wanted that same vision. Previously, there are 278 million people around the world who suffer hearing loss. Many of them live in developed countries. 2/3 of them are in developing countries. They have limited education, limited resources, and limited social opportunities. So is this an opportunity for peer-to-peer? Is this a place for that to provide some solution? There was a group in Thailand and a group outside of Thailand that came together for the simple goal of discussing a vision, asking what needed to be developed. Some people needed help with cooking, other people needed help with parenting, other people considered communication and technology. But when the people in Thailand thought they couldn't do it because of lack of communication, but when they realized that the other countries were doing that, it inspired them and gave them hope. It empowered them from one peer group to another. That inspiration, that hope, that healthy discussion, open dialogue is one thing that's missing in the underdeveloped countries. In America, it's not uncommon for one person to fly to another part of the country, share their resources and education, teach them, learn things, and then fly back home, and then to do it again. It's a common experience. And the group with which they share that experience benefits. The difference is that if you have one peer group from the United States that's deaf, interacting with another peer group from another country that's deaf, they have the same experiences. They may face the same challenges with communication. They face the same hurdles that they have to cross. And if they see the peer group from the United States being successful, then both groups benefit. The underdeveloping country can gain an identity. If deaf people in other countries can do it, then we can too. And all the people in both groups become leaders and advocates because they see the American peer group becoming advocates in their own country and allows them to become advocates as well and leaders. There's a share of cultural information and linguistic information. And it's accessible because of the peer-to-peer program, and then they can become peer leaders. And this isn't something that happens one time, that someone from the United States flies to a country, gives them some information, and goes home. These relationships continue through Facebook, through the internet, through other chats. There was one boy in India who lived in a very small village. He had limited access to the deaf world, to communication. He didn't have communication skills. It didn't mean that he wasn't intellectually able, he just didn't have the access. So he joined a group in a larger area, and I was there and I saw what happened. He was a very shy boy. He would answer questions very simply, like yes or no, or I don't want to, or something very simple. But I felt as if he could become a leader if we could break through that fear barrier. And as I watched him become more involved and socialize more within this peer group, he started to sign more and become comfortable, and he slowly started to open up, and it became a little more brave in those social situations. And when I asked him what he wanted to do, he finally said that he'd like to be a teacher eventually. And through that program, we saw him start to develop some goals. And there was a person that liked to break dance. There was just a phenomenal break dancer. And through this program, by the end of it, this boy started to learn break dancing. And he wasn't afraid anymore. He lost his fear through the strength of that program, through his peers and the communication, and became very motivated to go forward. Now he's teaching computer to other deaf children, and you can see he's in the background of this picture. Through this one program, because there was one deaf person there and there was support for him, he went on to teach other deaf people, peer to peer. And I've listed many of the positive aspects, but there are negative aspects as well. Most developing countries, men and women don't have equality. So when you come together in a group, you have to respect the culture of that country that you're visiting, because you're going to face challenges with peer-to-peer relationships in unequal environments. In 2007, Global Reach Out had some peer-to-peer programs that they created that are ongoing in the community for the deaf individuals, so that they can live a good life ongoing. And they've done that through peer-to-peer conflict resolution. There are 9 different programs in 5 different countries currently. And there are 3 that are continuing to visit currently. There are 156 individuals who've joined us, and each one has their own specific experience. For example, the story I told just recently of the man who became the computer teacher. I had to ask myself the question about how often would I be able to do this, and could we keep this project going? Would this peer-to-peer model continue to grow and inspire? If we set up one organization and we struggle to keep this organization going, we need people to be involved. We have conflicts with other cultures, and how would we keep people committed to the program? So we didn't know at first how long we could keep this going. And 3 months ago, I flew to Guatemala, and many of the deaf youth that I saw had never seen another deaf person, and never a deaf American. They had never left their hometown. So when they joined us for that 1 week that I was there for the program, on the last day, their parents came to visit and to see why they had sent their children to this program. We were with the teachers and the other deaf people in that room, and the Guatemalan children got up to sign what they had learned that week and how proud they had become. They were such strong, confident individuals at that point at the end of the program. When they put on this play, the parents were shocked, and they were so happy and thrilled that they cried to see their children perform. Afterwards, they thanked us, and they said that they didn't think deaf people could do anything, that they didn't think that deaf people could become teachers or other professionals, and they thanked us, and we were inspired by it. And they want us to come back and keep this program alive. So, the inspiration keeps going throughout this experience. And I think the inspiration will never die. Peer-to-peer can apply to anything, by the way. It doesn't just have to apply to you. They can apply to any group. People who are computer science, in the computer science industry and other areas. Just recently, we've had some of these experiences where we've been to other countries. After this, we will continue to grow and go to other continents and other countries. We are looking forward to our collaboration with TED and TEDxIslay, and we want to make it a lifelong, unforgettable experience in developing countries for these peer-to-peer groups. So thank you.